Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us for this episode of The Muse. My name is Maya Aboushid, and it is my true pleasure to welcome Nayla Kahwaji with me in this episode. Welcome, Nayla.
Hi, hello. Thank you, Maya.
It's good to have you. It's been this moment has been waited for quite a while, and here we are. We're recording this episode as a starter for what we're calling living by the seasons. So we'll be having Naila one episode every 3 months and on seasonal changes to give us or to share with us her musings. And here I'm gonna allow Naila or open the space for you, Naila, to tell us a little bit about who you are now and what brought you to who you are now.
I will say hi, Maya. Thank you so much for the reception. And it's really a pleasure to be joining you with the Muse Podcast. And to start with the background, I come from a very corporate background, which I stayed in corporate almost until I was like 30. You know, you get raised by go get the job, make it out there, get the financials, get the position, and you'd be happiest person on earth. And then you get there, but suddenly, all right, I'm so miserable. Where's that happiness that everyone was talking about? So I started questioning myself and a lot of stuff that I was taught since I was young. And in the meantime, I was also introduced to the concept of permaculture, which also raised a lot of questions in my head. And one of the basic questions is, how come no one taught me how to build my house and how to plant my food? Because we work just to be able to pay the rent, and we work just to be able to eat, although they are the most basic things that should come innate and freely. So so I decided actually to leave my corporate job. And I went and I did a permaculture design course, and I started my journey in my land in Shuf. And that's when my remembrance journey started, with the help of a lot of synchronicities as well. One of the basics one is meeting an old sheikha who was foraging in the land. So I went up and, who are you? Just tell me what you're doing. And she started teaching me about herbalism and getting me more and more involved into this world. So other synchronicities also started to take place. Some basic ones is when I started planting and when I started to build my own house. So just these two very small basic acts, just يعني I went back to some really important stuff is how much we got disconnected and how far we got from nature, from ourselves, from our senses, and from the rhythm of nature, actually. So we forgot the language, we forgot the way of our ancestors, we forgot to live with the rhythm of nature, we forgot to live based on the season. One of the most important things, like right now, and everyone is living during winter as they live during summer, as they live during spring, and we expect from ourselves and from our bodies and from our psyche and from our level of energy and productivity to still remain the same all years through within the same level, and which is something really, really wrong in a way or another. So also we forgot how much we look like nature, like our bodies and nature
Mm.
are so, so, so alike. We have the same percentages of water, we have the same percentages of vitamins and minerals. Even our gut microbiome has the same percentage as the microbiome of the soil. So
Mm.
if we just observe nature and nature's clues and just remember and try to imitate her, even the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom, instead of just swallowing another pill and just expecting from everything to be okay. So
Yeah, yeah, wow, wow, wow. That's really this is like music to my ears. And Naila is someone that I know for years by now. And even though I did not know you when you were in the corporate world, I knew you when you started living on the land in a tent, and you decided, like, there was this going extreme into that mode because obviously the system was overwhelmed. And when you're talking about we're doing things the wrong way, it's going into those extremes and then stepping back to a natural way that is more in line of our inner harmony, inner symbiosis with the environment around us. I mean, everything now, more and more, there is more focus and more emphasis and more clarity around epigenetics. So the environmental factors, more than the genetics that we carry. So it's fascinating where also science, even, there's enough that science is getting back to natural ways.
Wait,
And that's
yes,
that's what the Muse is about, in terms of bringing out the traditions and optimizing them to our modern world. We can't live like the way we lived 200 years ago,
exactly.
100 years, 20 years ago. We've changed so much. So how can we adapt, and our intelligence can grow with and attune with the intelligence of nature? And thank you for being in Lebanon as one of the people that have been really on that deep dive in order to walk their talk, in order to share their passion. And, from what the listeners are hearing, and the viewers, there's a lot of passion, and that's what inspiration is, when we're talking from that place of we need that. And when we
Yes,
need that, it starts oozing and being shared by default. It just happens through us. And
yes,
no trying, no forcing to convince, yet, just opening our eyes more and more to the land. Can we talk about the
yes,
land?
exactly. Also, Maya, one note that we don't have to go that extreme as well. You
Yes.
don't have to leave your corporate job. You don't have to go that extreme. We
Yeah.
can really just have the inner shifts and outer shift with very small amendments in our life, with very small shifts without going to that extreme. And just understanding how nature works will actually give us a lot of clues how our body and how our psyche and how our level of consciousness also works. And really, the world and nature talks to us through very basic languages. It's just in color and taste and smell and touch, and it's all based on the senses.
Mm.
So even our body, it receives our external environments, just receive everything through our senses. It turns it out into it takes it as electrical signals, and then it gets converted into chemical signals through our hormones, and then it's either your body is secreting the happy hormones or you are in a flight or fight response.
Yeah.
It's quite basic, really. It is that basic. So if
Yeah.
I have control of my life and my happiness over these, then it's really something, yani, really something basic. You don't have to go all the way around. So, especially with nature, it really speaks to us through colors and taste. These are the
Yes.
most important clues that we can get to really understand what's happening as well.
Yeah.
Especially now, like one of the biggest seasonal shifts that we go internally and externally and are the hardest usually is the shift from winter to spring,
Mhm.
because there is a drastic shift that is happening. It's not like a mild shift from spring to summer or no, no, no. The
Mhm.
cold is out, snow is out, sun is suddenly up, all
Mhm.
of the greens are suddenly up. So there's a really big shift that is happening. So during winter, usually it's the closing of the year. We go a lot of introvert, introspection. We just analyze how our year was going. It's a time for rest, mentally and
Yeah.
even for
Hibernation. Yeah.
Yes, on all levels. So this is why also we cannot expect from our body to act the same as summer. One, the external environment is so different because we don't have the sun, so the warmth is not coming from the outside. So our body, most of the work that it is doing is just keeping the heat in. We're not sweating, we're not moving, we're not, it's all based on the inside. And everything that we eat more dense food, we eat fats, we eat stuff like that for our body to just preserve the heat, you
Mm.
know? So when spring is here, this all starts to change. So the heat is coming from the outside. The sun is up. Our body starts to sweat, starts to demand that change. So everything that we introspected, that we dreamt, that we decided to release, that all
Mm.
of the plans of our coming year, yalla, up to the manifestation in spring. And this is why we always feel that it's such a hard time, it's such a dense period on all levels, physical, mental, and even psychological.
Mm. 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 And in talking the way you're sharing, Naila, this is very much how the land is showing us the
Exactly.
transitions, those transformations. And it's beautiful the way you express it, even though it's intense. When one really attunes with nature in the beginning, it feels very challenging. But then as there's, as you said, step by step, bit by bit, there's that inner wisdom. In eco psychology, it's called organicity, where it's like there's an inner way of system organizing themselves in line with the systems around us, natural systems. And so the land, when we watch the land transitioning in colors and in
Yes,
texture and in dryness and wetness, this is where also we perceive them through the senses, correct?
exactly. Even
Yeah,
our body, like
yeah,
if the heat is coming from the
yeah,
outside, it's so different than our body just producing it.
yeah.
Like one of the major things is sweating. Like during summer, we sweat all of the time, and sweat is a very important channel for us to release the toxins that are inside our body.
Yeah,
So it is one of the most important detoxifying pathways.
yeah.
So what happens during winter is because we don't sweat and we are accumulating that
Mm.
heat, we are eating warm foods, fatty foods to just keep our heat up. So the toxins even they tend to accumulate during winter, and this is why spring is the most important time to detox
Mm.
because we have all of this accumulation. And if you can see also Maya, يعني most of the religions, the fasting usually comes in
True.
all of the religions, especially this year, with Easter, with Ramadan, with everything. The time to fast is during spring, usually.
Mm.
Because if you fast and if you detox during winter, you are releasing all of the heat that is in the body that you already need just to keep yourself warm. So
Yes.
the worst way, the worst time to actually detox is during winter, but the
Yeah.
best time for detox is spring. And
Yes.
if we don't enter spring with a detox, we will tend to carry all of this accumulation with us during spring, during summer, during everything. And this is why also you notice like most of the spring allergies, they come out during spring. Usually allergies and spring allergies, the core problem with it is the liver because
Mm.
everything is accumulated in the liver. Accumulation. Spring is here. We don't have a detox. Pop, pop, pop. They all come out as spring allergies or
Mm.
skin rashes or
Mm. Or,
so.
sneezing or a flu. Many people recently have been just going through pneumonia, major flus. And that's the stacking that you're talking about in terms of, it's like we skip a season and then the body is just taking the toll for the next season. And therefore, the body forces the detox even when we don't want to go through a conscious detox, the body will force it and there's a drop and eventually more medication and more ways to tend for that, which is naturally what would be needed in this case. When you're talking, Naila, about the colors, the tastes, the liver, that's the organ very much, that is connected now to what you've been mentioning in terms of transition, because the liver is the, let's say, is the divine trash of the body. Is like
Exactly.
the trash bin. It's this recycling bin. And so can we talk a little bit about the liver in terms of emotionality? What is connected usually to the liver? What people can be processing now after a time of hibernation and stacking and stacking and stacking, adding to
Yeah.
this what is happening also in this part of the world in terms of stacking as well.
If you, if you really observe nature, if you're following the clues of nature, everything that comes out in spring has a green color. Everything. Like all of the grasses, all of the weeds, everything. You have no colors. The fruits are still not up. There's not many colorful stuff. But if you look on the ground, everything is green, almost everything. And everything that nature gives us during that time, all of the herbs that are coming out usually has an affinity to the liver and to our detoxification pathways. It's either through the liver or the lymphatic system, or it's just like the plants. It's chlorophyll
Yeah,
to help photosynthesize,
yeah.
to just alchemize all of this sun and water and elements just for it to use it as a fuel.
Mm.
So our body is the same, really, really actually the same. So
Correct.
everything we should be eating during that stage and spring that would be helping us a lot is everything that has a green color. That simple.
Mm.
And
Mm.
usually everything that has a green color are the greens. And if you notice also the greens, they all have mostly a bitter taste or a sour taste.
Yes,
Like if
true.
you
Yeah, and
Europa,
that's the theme of our episode, bitter spring. Yeah.
yes, exactly. Because it's actually a bitter spring because really we're releasing a lot, a lot, a lot. And if we don't do it consciously, we're gonna do it through an illness because our body is gonna detox in a way or another.
Yeah.
So it's better for us to take it out consciously instead of just being ill or again just taking a pill and just not tackling the core, the root
Yes.
cause,
Yeah.
just tackling the symptoms in a way or another.
Yeah. And
So the
when we go through a detox, there is a drop energetically. So it is important to take care of slowing down and noting that probably, some mucus would have to come up because of the detox. Some fever will have to come up because of the detox. Basically, it's the liver cleansing and emotionality. Like what I've been noticing lately is I'm naturally pulled to greens. I'm eating more green stuff by default. And now you're mentioning this even more. You're reminding me that, yes, this is naturally happening. At the same time, there has been a lot of anger coming up on a personal
Yes,
level. And also what I'm seeing with with people that I'm guiding. Can we talk to anger a little bit here?
with anger, exactly like all of our emotions, each emotion resides in a certain organ in our body.
Mm.
Anger resides in the liver specifically.
Specifically,
Fear
like dominant. Yeah.
resides in the kidney. So usually, why
Fear.
liver is important? It's one of the most important organs in our body because one, it detoxifies all of the waters inside our body, and we're 80% made of water. So every toxin that is found in our body, it's the liver and the kidney's job to detoxify all of these and just throw them out our body, either through sweat, either through urine, through our detoxification pathways. So usually the most important liver also, like if you eat vitamin D, as an example, our body doesn't use the vitamin D exactly as we eat it. So it passes through the liver and sometimes through the kidneys for it to change that vitamin in a way that our body can use it as well. So really, it has like over 500 functions. But if you really, really think the most important functions of it are mostly these two. Because also, if I am eating the healthiest food in the world, my body is not digesting it, is not absorbing it, and is not transforming it in a way to be able to use it, I'm not doing anything. It's
Mm.
just going out as much as it's going in.
Mm. Mm,
Really, taking care of our liver is such an important
mm,
thing.
true.
And plus, we can help through our detoxes, like because anger resides in the liver. If my liver is tired in a way or another, I can also work with it from the other way around. If I know my anger resides in my liver, I can work with my anger and work through it when I am detoxing as well,
Yes.
because always the physical helps the emotional helps the spiritual. It's just one full cycle. So
Mm,
if I to really just do the job on a physical level, I can help it out with the emotional. I can help it out the psychological. So really working on a 360-degree level and understanding what is happening with me on all levels will really just the healing aspect will just takes place in just a split of a second.
mm,
Instead of taking me 2 weeks, it will really just take me a couple of days because I know what I am releasing on all levels. And
mm,
any type of illness that is inside our body, it always starts on an energetical level. And when it is not solved, it starts manifesting on a physical level just to tell us there is something there that is unresolved. So the faster we solve it, the better we will be, and the healing will be really on a much
mm.
faster pace.
Yes,
So
thank you.
even
Thank you for those gems. I mean, traditionally, medicine was a preventive way. It
yes,
wasn't dealing with the illnesses or post-sim or the symptoms of an illness. It was more of prevention. And if there's anything, we sit and talk about those subjects and with like I've done this with Nayla many times, and it's such a pleasure always to sit with you, Nayla, and just talk about plants and what grew in your garden naturally. Just it's like I wonder why this plant grew in my garden. What is it telling me? What do I
yeah,
need? Because
yeah,
naturally also plants grow before we need them. It's like they start
exactly.
popping in the space around us before actually there is the need for what is this plant for and how intelligent that is. How intelligent that is.
Really, Maya, when I started planting, like the first 2 years were amazing, but then when I discovered the intelligence of nature and really how it gives us what we need at this specific time, I stopped planning my plants and I stopped planning to plant a vegetable garden. And I just brought the wild into my garden. Everything that I planted was in the wild, because really it has such an intelligence that really, if you let her guide you, you don't have to do any plans even.
Yeah.
Just follow it, follow the soil, follow the land, follow what it's
Yeah.
giving to you, and you're really fine. And
Yeah.
plus, one very important point is really one to eat during the seasons, and second to eat of whatever is around you.
Yes.
Because like right now, people are aiming to go to plant medicines that grows
Imported.
in tropical or not in Lebanon, because Lebanon has a different climate than
Indeed.
what grows in India or South America or so plants like ashwagandha or maca or they are amazing. But for me personally, we have all of the replacements and medicines that we
Indeed.
need. We already have them here in the land. So
Yes.
why should I go and get a plant that is made for tropical season for people who lives there, and
Yes.
just bring it here and eat it. And my body requires another thing because it already lives in a different climate.
Indeed.
So instead of taking ashwagandha, I can take reishi mushroom because it
Yeah.
already grows. And also it has the similar aspect as the ashwagandha. So
Yes. Yes.
it is
Beautiful.
very
Beautiful.
important as well.
Again, it's being woven around the land, what the land is offering us. We think that the land here has been so destroyed, so damaged, so much abused, and that's the reflection also of the so-called narrative of this part of the world. Still, the land stays giving unconditionally. It will
Always.
keep giving us regardless of how much we destroy it. It's amazing. Like if there's a definition of whatever we talk about in the spiritual field as love, there's nothing like that. like in terms
Yeah.
of an example, like that is for me, it's like it comes in my face. Like, do you think you're giving enough? Look at how much nature gives.
Mhm.
And that's
Alhamdulillah.
always a reminder. And thank you, Nayla, for really stepping into this world over the last 10 years. Maybe, right? You've been around 10 years in this field.
Yes, it's to be exact, around 8 years.
8 years,
And I
eight
want to
years.
thank nature for just grabbing me and taking me slowly,
Oh,
slowly, slowly there.
it's
No, it's
beautiful.
really amazing. Yeah, and if you see like the fruit tree, you just need one fruit tree to be able to sustain yourself for the whole year. So the more you pick up, the more the trees, they really do feel, and they really there's an amazing exchange, you know.
Yeah,
They're so happy. Really, the more you take and the more you take care, the more they give you. And even if you don't take care of them, they will keep on
yeah,
giving you always and always and always. So
yeah, yeah. Naila, over the years, you have also established or started Lee Pattern, which focuses mostly on herbalism, permaculture, and plant medicine and the world of plant medicine. Uh, the plants, the medicinal plants of the land. And
yes.
are you this is something also as a reference for people who are listening who don't know you. Are you offering workshops? Are you doing things related to this subject more lately? And how can people get in touch with you? And if you can tell us a little bit more around this subject.
Actually, yes, I've been working with the land and I've been offering products, a base of herbal remedies offerings
Mm,
as well. And all they are based on seasonal. Like also just to note about the bitter taste, Maya, a bit. Like the bitter, why is it important in spring as well? I think this is important to talk about. Whenever we eat anything that is bitter, our body thinks that it's sort of a poison. So it awakens all of our organs inside and it actually it
activate.
prepares the body to receive all of the food. It increases the bile production. So when all of the foods are inside, it helps to break the food. It helps with the absorption of the food, and it releases and eliminates all toxins and all poisons, including cholesterol. So this is why also just the bitter is
Mm,
very, very important. As
mm.
also the concept of eating a salad before food.
Yes.
This is how it came.
Yeah.
So you eat a salad, it's
True.
bitter herbs, you awaken all of the organs, and, and really this is really such a healing. Just start with this. And for that also I have a product, it's a tincture, it's called herbal bitters as well, just focusing on all of this. It includes plants from our land. So one of the plants also is Lieber, I don't know if you know this plant, Maya, if you remember it. When you were
Mm.
young, we used to just take it from the land and throw it on our clothes, and it would just stick on our clothes.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Yes.
one of
I
the
remember that very
most
well. We
important
used to tease
herbs.
each other a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's like the
So it
neem.
comes out during the
It's
spring.
like the neem
Yes,
in yeah, in Ayurveda. Hmm. Yeah.
yes, exactly. You have
Good.
also stinging nettle,
Yes.
which
Hello,
is
singing natural.
yes, it has hairs, and you know it's this if it
Yeah.
stings you.
Yeah.
So one of the most important aspects. Another one is also the mallow that you can find it in Lebanon a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot
Mm,
during this
mm,
time. So
mm,
all of these herbs, they help our detoxification pathways.
mm.
It's found in my products in a detox tincture, and a herbal bitter tincture as well. I also extract through vinegar and honey something called oxymel, which is one of the best ways for me. It's my personal herbal candy, if you want, in a way or another. So it's really tasty. It extracts the full spectrum of medicine of the herbs and the flowers. And they are all, I prefer, like, I have a philosophy. If I include my medicine into my food, then it's always preventative. Then I don't have to get to a point where actually I would need medicine, if it's herbal or not. So all of my products are sort of included in our food.
Mm,
It's not just like a herbal pill and I take it and that's it. You can
mm,
incorporated in salad dressing. So my products are found all on my page and in a couple of organic stores here in Lebanon. And I also offer workshops that I highly love to really to share all of this knowledge. And especially now, you feel that really the interest is growing more and more and more. So the
Yes.
more we come back to the land, the more we come back to ourselves. We are all connected. So if
Mm,
we're disconnected from ourselves, we're going to be disconnected from the land and vice versa.
indeed,
So
indeed. Well, I mean, I will put your coordinates, Naila, in the description below, including your main page and also what you will be sharing in terms of information for people to, get to know what you're doing, and also, maybe also buy your products. And I've, Naila has been my supplier for tinctures when it comes to mushrooms. She just always drops like a little bottle in my hand. She would be like, try this. I want you to try this
yeah,
and back to me. It's like that alchemist that is like, come on, little girl, try this for me and let's see how you feel. Now she's preparing me a heart also combination from the beautiful witch that you are, and I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for being on the path, touching base, and sharing what we are learning together as we are, walking this life day by day. Thank you again, Naila, for your time. We will be having more episodes every seasonal change, and it will have its own theme, living by the seasons. Keep following the channel, share, like, subscribe, comment, and send us your feedback. Thank you very
exactly.
much.
Thank you so much, Maki.
Thank you, ya Habibte, and lovely,
Thank you.
lovely
Thank
sharing
you
this
really
time.
for all the plans. Same here. Until the next one.
Until the next one, many, many blessings.